Hello, I'm Faye, and today I want to share with you, I think, 7 books that I got over Christmas or just the end of the year period. Some of them were my radar, some of them weren't because they were just gifted to me. And I'll just jump right in with the first 3 that I specifically got with Tome Infinity and Beyond in mind, which has of course started now in January, a readathon dedicated to reading science fiction books. So the very first I already read, which is Annihilation by VanderMeer. This is the first one in the Southern Reach trilogy about an expedition of 4 women who is sent out to this quarantined off area, Area X, to discover what it's all about after, I think, 12 preceding expeditions and never returned, or some of them returned and died soon after. It's not a very long book, but it's really weird. I really enjoyed the reading experience. Although I'm not quite sure what happened, I'm really curious to see the movie because a lot of the things I can't really imagine how they decided to visually show that on screen. So that would be interesting. Also, really shiny cover. There's prettier covers of this. There's a cover that has a sort of illustration of plant life, I believe, but this of course is the movie spin-off cover. I think you would enjoy this if you are open to a bit of weird in your science fiction, and it's not hard sci-fi either. We really haven't gotten a lot of answers to what kind of techie science things could be going on in this story. I'm gonna put this down now because it's shines so much. So I've already read that. I did get that for Christmas though. I also got How Long Till Black Future Month by N.K. Jemisin. I've never read anything by N.K. Jemisin before, but I hear she is amazing. And this is a collection of short stories, all science fiction, fantasy based. I realized a lot of people care greatly about the distinction between those two genres, but I believe, well, it's short stories, so I think we get a little bit of everything. Following the title, expect this to explore questions of racism, perhaps with a bit of a focus on the US, although I wouldn't really know. And I've heard a few things about this already. Heard that it is just great, and I think this is also a nice one for me to start off and see whether I like the way N.K. Jemisin writes, because she's written highly acclaimed fantasy trilogies, which are of course which require a bit more dedication if you want to get started on those. So this one I think is a great one to start off with, and I'm really looking forward to reading that. And then the third book that I got with the science fiction prompt in mind was Flowers for Algernon, is that the emphasis? Flowers for Algernon, I believe, by Daniel Keyes. This is a classic in the science fiction genre about a below average intelligent man who gets this experimental treatment and then becomes more and more intelligent, I believe. Charlie Gordon is the main character, and he has an IQ of 68, but I believe he doesn't once the treatment commences. I really like reading older science fiction. I find that usually it's actually not dated, it just puts a focus on what has become more important over the years, and I do appreciate that. Also, I think this is just something that gets referenced to quite often in conversation, so I want to read that. The next 2 books I was gifted and thus was not expecting to get at all. One is Petra Hartlieb, Weihnachten in der wundervollen Buchhandlung, so obviously not something for people who don't read German. This is about a German woman who moves to Austria with her family and opens up a bookshop. I believe there was a first book, and this is very much focused on the Christmas business in the bookshop. I think this is a really cute one. I might wait with reading this because I'm really not in the Christmas spirit now anymore, it being the beginning of January. I thought this was a really cute gift idea, and it has sort of illustrations in it as well. So I thought that was really sweet. I was really, really pleased that a friend got this for me. And my mum gifted me Delusions of Genda. Delusions of Gender is the word, by Cordelia, who I believe is a neuropsychologist, and she talks about whether or not the differences between gender are really so hardwired in our brains, how some people like to claim. I'm guessing she has a very critical stance towards that, and she talks more about the role of socialization and culture and how gender norms are fabricated and not some magical biological thing that forces the way we develop. My mum really likes the fact that I'm interested in these topics, I believe, and I think it's really nice getting books from her on this, because this wasn't on my radar. She's written a few other books, and my mum thought this one sounded the best. So I think this is really nice non-fiction pick. And the final two books that I want to show you, I've both really wanted for a while, so it being the Christmas season I decided to get them. One is Beartown by Fredrik Backman, which I feel like everyone and their aunt has read, and I haven't yet. I've read most of Fredrik Backman's books and really like their whimsy and his characters and the sort of fairy tale-y character of his everyday stories. So this one I also just really want to read, and I have a premonition of what this is about, and I think it's going to be a bit darker than the other books I've read by him, but I'm really looking forward to that. You can hear my boyfriend sneeze in the background. He is sick. You're welcome. And then the final book that I want to share with you is Motherhood by Sheila Heti. My mum got me this in hardcover, even though I told her not to get it if it hasn't been published in paperback yet. But she did so anyway because she loves me, which is very apt, because this Motherhood, of course, is, I believe, Sheila Heti's wonderings over the pressure that we women have to become mothers. It's a question that I find really concerns me quite often. That sounds much more negative than it is. It's a question that me and my friends talk about, so I look forward to someone who is a bit more used to fleshing out her ideas in literary form talking about it, and maybe she can get some order into the chaos that is in my mind. I think Sheila Heti just writes in a really nice way, and I think she represents a lot of what I think of at the current stage in my life. I think she is roughly my age, or maybe I'm just willing that into existence. No, I'm sorry, I'm getting distracted. This one I'm also really looking forward to. Of course, for now I'll be reading science fiction for January, but then I will be eager to get into the other ones as well. I hope you are doing great and that you also got some lovely books for Christmas, and I'll see you very soon. Bye.